Hey everybody, just wanted to do a short video on the Sony A77ii and the remote control or wireless options. So first of all, I'm going to just go over the PC control. So there's the PC control, and then there's also the wireless, Android smartphone app control. So this is going to be first the PC control, and so the first thing you need to do is go to the website and download the camera remote control. And so I'll put a link to that below this description on this video. And then basically once you've installed it, you have to basically plug in the USB into your camera and plug in the USB to your laptop or computer. Now I've got it turned off. And just so you know, I've got the USB plugged into the side here. The USB is actually a very tight fit, but it does make it very solid. So I'm going to turn on the camera. It says connecting to USB. You might have to go through configurations and set it properly. Now I'm going to go to the camera. I'm going to start up the app, the camera remote control. And there we go. So I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit just so you can see this. Okay, so hopefully now you can see I've got the app, the control on the right side open, and now if I click on something like the ISO, I can press the plus and minus, and it's got a fairly significant lag, but you can change the settings, and you'll see here on the camera it actually changes the settings on the camera as well. So you've got the half press shutter is right here. You can half press the shutter and then fully press the shutter. And here's your video recording, and you can stop recording. And you can do a lot of your different settings here, your white balance, drive mode, a lot of other settings. However, there's two things I've found. One is that there's no remote viewer on the PC, so you can't actually see what the camera sees. You have to look at the viewfinder on the camera to see what it's actually viewing. The other thing is I can't get it to actually send the files to either the card or the camera. So when I press the trigger here, I can feel the camera doing something, but it doesn't actually take a picture. And then when I press the record button on the video, you can see the camera is recording something, but it doesn't actually record it to the card or the computer. So I don't know where it's recording it to. So I have to maybe figure out some sort of settings in the camera. I don't know why it's just not. I can't find the files anywhere. I don't know what it's doing, but it's definitely not taking the picture, and it's recording it to somewhere I can't find. So anyway, okay, so I'm just going to close this down. It's going to give me a warning saying disconnect. Now it's disconnected. I'm going to turn off the camera, unplug the HDMI, turn the camera back on. I'm just going to show you in the menu settings. Here we have under the toolbox, we've got remote control, and that I've got turned. Okay, next thing I was going to show you is the wireless control from a smartphone. So basically what you do is you go to the Sony website and you download the Play Memories mobile app, connect device, and then on the camera, turn it on, go to menu, and under the Wi-Fi settings number 1, it says control with smartphone. So I'm going to go enter, and it's listing my device. It has to find the device first, but it's listing it now because I've already connected. And now it says connecting. Now, there we go. So I can turn this way. And now whatever the camera, now the feedback is actually quite fast. Now, while the camera is being used by the smartphone, it says controlling with smartphone, you cannot directly operate this device. So you can't do anything to this camera. All it's doing is putting out the live view to your phone. So I can, as I move it, it's actually pretty good. But the thing is, all you have on this app is a trigger. So basically, you can fire the trigger and take a picture, and I think it pushes it to the camera, which is great. And select the picture, and I can zoom, scroll, look at the picture, and exit. Go back to the camera. The other thing you can do under the gear settings is self-timer. You can turn off 2 seconds or 10 seconds, or flash control, auto or off, and close. And then at the bottom right here you can go mode, and you can switch to movie mode. I have image stabilization turned on, so it did a little extra crop right there, and then you can just press play and it starts recording. I'm going to press stop. And that's basically it. I'm going to switch back to photo mode. I got my live view here. Now there's a bit of lag, eh? Anyway, so I just want to show you what it can do. Obviously you turn the camera and it's going to turn your view. But it's very, very limited. There's not a lot to it. One more thing I was going to show you is once you've paired your devices once before, you can basically take the phone and the camera, touch the near field together. You have to have near field enabled on your smartphone, and then basically they pair, and it's giving you, it does everything automatically. So now I've got the camera fully enabled just by touching the device to the phone. So just to summarize, basically when the camera is connected to the PC, you can control a lot of the settings in the camera, but I can't get the pictures of the video to actually capture yet, so I'll have to look into that. And you don't have any live view. Now when you connect to your smartphone, you get the live view and almost no controls. So I don't know, I really hope Sony improves this connectivity issue. Because I guess I'm shooting this right now on my Canon Powershot Pro1, which came out exactly 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, and the Canon software had full control, or has full control with live view over PC, and that was 10 years ago. So I would hope that Sony would come out with some updates on this and actually get up to speed with their connectivity. Thanks for watching. Now, in case you're wondering about what's on my desktop here, those are actually pixels from my screen. I took a picture of some of the pixels of my screen with my camera and just enlarged it, but actually that is an actual macro shot. I figured it's about a 60:1 enlargement from the size of my actual pixels on my screen to the actual sensor. So for those people wondering about macro photography, this was actually basically free. Just want to show you what I did. Is I took the body cap from my camera and I cut out a hole in the middle of the body cap and I glued it into a poster tube. And this is actually like a 2-piece poster tube. You can see here, so that I can actually extend it, which is very simple to do. So now I've lost my body cap, but no big deal. And then what I did is I basically took my kit lens, take the lens hood off, take the camera off, the lens off, and then here I've got a mark. It's going to go like that. I've got a mark here. There we go. And then on the other end, basically what I did is I took my lens, of course, reversed, and I just snapped it into place like that. It's a really tight fit, but once I got it in there, I just taped it up. So you've got the back of your lens facing this way, like that. And for now I'm just going to leave that off, and then basically you just slide that onto here, and then you've got your lens on like that. I mean, you can shorten it, cut it shorter, cut it longer, whatever you want. Now you've got a macro lens. One thing I should note though is on the back of these lenses, the aperture control is actually recessed. It's in the little groove there. It's recessed. So what I did is I took a little paper clip and basically just bent the paper clip so that it would grab the little aperture control and pull it open, and then hooked it onto the side there. So it's out of the way, but it keeps the aperture open. So you can use the lens wide open, or you can, bend the paper clips to adjust the aperture however you want. But your depth of field is obviously going to be, sub-millimeter. And I mean, you're also going to need a lot of light. So taking a picture of an LCD screen means you inherently have light coming into the lens, which makes it a lot easier. So yeah, just want to let you know, just had a little fun with that, and it's pretty much free if you're willing to give up your body cap. And that's it. So now I'm just going to show the app. Okay, one more thing I was just going to show you is here we have the Canon FL bellows, and I have my Sony 16 to 50mm reverse mounted on here with the Sony A77ii on the back. Now to do this, obviously I needed an FD to Minolta adapter on the back, and then also a reverse thread and then step-up rings for the front element. And then I'll just show you too, on the front here you'll see that I've got the paper clip attached to the aperture ring, and then just pulled the aperture ring open and then set the paper clip to hold the aperture manually open on this. Now I actually got this, and then I found it's very accurate, but it's time consuming, and it's it's a very precise tool. But it just, I wanted to have a little bit more fun and experiment, so that's kind of why I made the poster tube adapter, which I actually made after I got the bellows. And I just, the bellows, you're limited to how far you can actually go with them. You can see here, it's very, very precise, and you can expand them, but that's, it's as far as you can go, whereas with a poster tube, you can go as far as you want. And, I got a 2-foot poster tube, which is how I got this image here of these pixels here. So the thing though is that a lot of these adapters are really cheap. For instance, I made a little piece of paper here to fit between the camera and this adapter because it's a bit of a loose fit. You can also see from the back that the camera is actually mounted a little bit crooked. And then here I've got the reverse adapter and the step-up rings. But yeah, the quality of those components is not that great, but at least it holds it solid. And then here, of course, you've got my makeshift lamp, steady lamp, and then also my wireless flash here as well. So, if you want to do some macro shots, the difficult part, of course, is going to be getting the light in there, because you're going to have a very shallow depth of field, and you're going to need a lot of light. Okay, just wanted to add that. Thanks for watching.